So, last bit of this enormous chapter, test next lesson. Applications of circular functions. So this basically means worded problems, isn't it? This is where all the marks are. You get much more marks for these sort of questions than you do for the other sorts of questions. So where do we see these in real life? So have a think about it. Stop the video. See if you can come up with some situations before you play it again. Here's one. So hospital. There's your BP. I'm not sure what these mean, but they definitely look like they're signy type things, don't they? There you go, just a very simple chain between two posts. Cups on top of each other. You can even do that at home. Looks like a tan. Some buns. Lung capacity. So that's where you're just hanging around doing nothing. Going for a run. That's as much as it gets. So sine, cosine type things. And a tide. 1st of January. Warnung, don't know where that is. Anyone ever been there? Send us a photo if you've been there. Is given approximately by the rule, so it's probably never going to be exactly that, is it? 4 sine pi on 6 t. T is the number of hours after midnight. So don't forget hours. Draw the graph. When was high tide? What is the height of high tide? What was the height of the tide at 8 a.m.? And an interesting one at the end, a boat can only cross the harbour when the tide is at least 1 metre above sea level. A big boat. When can the boat cross the harbour on that particular day? So if you're a fisherman, these are the sort of things that you need to know, don't you? Or else you're going to get stuck. Draw the graph. Okay. You probably aren't going to do it as quickly as I just did by pressing a button. So the 4. That's my amplitude. So I go up to 4, down to -4. Tricky thing is the period. 2 pi over n ends up being 12. So 1 complete revolution. 12 hours. And we're doing it from 0 to 24. So we're doing it for a day. So it's got 2 cycles within that day. Lovely graph. When was high tide? We can see high tide is there and there. So just by guessing, I'd say that's probably 3 and that's probably 15. But let's do the maths. So we just put it equal to, we put this equal to 4 and solve it. So when we divide by 4, 4 divided by 4 becomes 1. So then we look up our exact values. So pi on 2, and next one's going to be 5 pi on 2. So we've got pi on 6 t, so we want to find out what actually t is. So we're going to times by 6, divide by pi, gets 3 and 15, which is what I said. Just take care, because if you are a fisherman, you need to use the 24-hour clock, so 0300 hours and 1500 hours. So just take care the way you write the answer. And it's 3 a.m. and 3 p.m., isn't it? What was the height of the high tide? Well, that should just be a free mark for you, shouldn't it, really? It's just the amplitude. 4 meters above mean height, so 4 meters. What was the height of the tide at 8 a.m.? So I'm trying to work out, that's 9, isn't it? So 8's about there. So it's down there somewhere. Perfect. So I'm just subbing in for 8. So t is 8. So we've got 8 pi on 6. 8 pi on 6. Simplify this. 8 over 6. 4 over 3. Look that up. Exact value. So don't forget that's not in the first quadrant. You've got to take it back to the first quadrant. So if you do it in the first quadrant, I think it's going to be positive, but of course, because it's in the second quadrant, and the only thing so we ended up with a negative there. So 4, we can see it down there. There you go. 6 negative from this. So root 3 on 2, 4 times root 3 on 2, 4 over 2 is 2, so it's -2 root 3. So the water is 2 root 3 meters below the mean height at 8 a.m. So it's roughly, I just did it on my calculator, 3.46. So if that's 3.46, that's believable, isn't it? So I'm assuming I've got that answer correct. So there's the boat. There's 1 meter. So it can only go between those times and those times. So there and there. If he leaves too early, he can't move. If he leaves it too late, he's going to get stuck, isn't he? So we just need to try and find the first one, because there's one there, one there, one there, one there. Once we found that first one, we can just use symmetry to find the others. So we just put it equal to 1. Bring that 4 over, equal to 1/4. So not an exact value. So I look that up, just using my calculator to look that up. So it's 10 to the -1 of 1/4, 0.2526. There's my first one. And then I can just use symmetry to work out what that one is. So that's pi on 6t, so it's not t, so I've got to times by 6, divide by pi to give me this value here, 0.4824. So does that look better? Because then that means when I do 6 minus that to give me that one. Now, take super time. That is 0.4824 hours. So you're not going to say 0.2824 hours, are you? So we're going to turn it into minutes. So times it by 60, 28.944, which is roughly 29 minutes. So the first one, 29 minutes. So if you're looking at that, that looks like about 29 minutes. Do the same with that one. 5:31. So there's 6, 5:31, well believable. Do the same with that one, do the same with that one. There's the times. So between those 2 times and between those 2 times, that's when he can go out. So say he's going out fishing, that's when he can go out fishing for a few hours, and go all around, then he's going to come back between those 2 times. Otherwise, he has to wait until the next day, doesn't he? So they're just stuck out of the water until the next day otherwise. So he's got to definitely be back between those 2 times. So, test on Tuesday. Hooray! Make sure you're up to date with all the exercises. Chapter review, notes, skill sheets. There'll be the spreadsheet will be back on Google Classroom, so you can upload all your work. So have fun. Make sure you get everything done. Mr. Patch, over and out.